different desktops for different users. So I'm just going to show you a few of them. I'm going to show you maybe 3 of them. So for a start, I'm just going to show you the first year test. So what I'm logged onto now is my web interface, and it's accessible through this link here. So that's the domain I purchased, and I've redirected the IP address to the IP of my Netscaler device. So I'm just going to log in as a first year student here at the moment. And you'll see the different applications that a first year student has access to. So they have the basic ones. So they have their BlueJ command prompt, their basic Word apps, and their basic browsers, because essentially that's all they really need. So if I just go ahead and pop open my desktop connection, it should download a session file for me, and it should log in to my virtual desktop for me. So this might take about maybe 30 seconds, but we can wait for that. I'm averaging about 30 seconds on the logon, so that's reasonably quick for a virtual environment, so I'm quite happy with that. So here we go. We see our virtual environment for a first year student. So this desktop is completely virtual. As you see, I can switch back to my old desktop, my own personal one, and then back to my own virtual one. So these are the applications that every user will have on their desktop. They're common. Users won't be allowed to change these. So no matter what to do, these are always going to be the applications on the user's desktop, because they're redirected to a network share. Similar to that, the user start menu is redirected to a network share just to control what application access they have. So I have their BlueJ, the command prompt, and stuff like that. So if I just go ahead and pop open command prompt, and the user can come in here, first year user can come in, and they can do their Java C, their program away, whatever they want to do, or they can pop open their BlueJ, and it should pop open fine, and they'll be able to program away. So with the use of folder redirection, we can just customize exactly what's in the user start menu, as you don't want to be given a first year access to all the applications that they simply don't need them. They also have access to their own home drive, similar to the one in the CSIS. They have their H drive, so they can save their personal files here and access them from anywhere on the web. They can also access their local disk. So if they have files on their own personal PC, they can access them, and they can transfer them over to their virtual desktop if they want, or vice versa. There's also folder redirection policy set up for these local folders here inside my computer. Sometimes there's issues with people saving files to local folders on their on individual machines, and then when they move machine, the folder or the file isn't actually there. So what I've done is I've set up a policy here to redirect all these folders to a network share, so you can see the location of it actually is on a network file server instead of the local C drive. So that's just a useful tool. So that's about it for the first year's desktop. I'll just go ahead and show you some of the other desktops. So if I pop into my web interface again, just log out, and I'm going to log in as, say, a third year student. So I'll just enter my domain, third year test, login. Once again, you see a lot more applications here than there was before, just depending on the active directory groups that I showed you earlier on. So if I just pop open any of them, it'll download my session. And once again, it'll log on to my desktop. Here we are on a third year student's desktop. Looks quite similar to the first year's desktop. They'll all kind of look the same, essentially, just only the application access is different. So if I pop into the start menu, we see that they have a lot more applications and access. So whatever they want to do, if they want to use a bit of Eclipse, they just pop him open, and it should open up. It might just take a couple of minutes to open up, but you see it's just a way of controlling what students have access to depending on their groups and on their year of study. So here we have Eclipse, and we can just set him to run there, and it should load up fine. We'll just wait up here for him. Might be a bit slower than a physical computer, but just depending on the resources I have, I haven't a lot of memory allocated to each individual server, so it just takes that couple of seconds longer to actually start up applications, but that can be expected. Right, so here we see Eclipse, so they can work away under Eclipse projects, whatever they want to do. So I'm just going to pop out of the third year desktop, and last of all I'm just going to show you the lecturer's desktop, just to show you the difference in the lecturer's desktop and a student's desktop. So if I log in, let's call power. You see a lecturer has a lot more access than a student, simply because they obviously might need access to all the applications rather than some of them. So they have no restrictions on their profile, they have no restrictions on their account. So you'll just see now in a minute, once we get logged in here, all the application access and the access to features that lecturers have. So here we are logged on to a lecturer's desktop. Automatically we can see that the desktop background is different, just to distinguish the difference in desktops. The desktop icons are also different. Lecturers can add whatever they want onto their desktop, and they can add different applications, etc. And if we pop into the start menu here, we can see that a lecturer has access to all Windows features and controls, unlike students. Just gives them that extra access, an extra configuration if they need it. They also have access to all of the programs available, so there's no restrictions to what applications lecturers have. So if they want to come in here, do a bit of data mining, they can pop open R, and they can work away or whatever application they want to have. Also, as mentioned before, the lecturer also has access to the Casper FIP drive, along with fourth years. So fourth years and lecturers are the only ones that have access to that drive. So it just makes it a lot easier instead of going mapping drives manually up here like you usually have to do.